When undertaking a project as massive as the Death Star's, secrecy and availability of resources were primary driving factors in choosing places for their construction. If knowledge of their existence leaked before they were ready, it could have spelled disaster. With the choice of Endor for their construction site, they were satisfying both criteria. There was a wide array of natural resources, and the planet as well as its home sector, the model sector, were both far from established galactic civilization and exceedingly difficult to navigate. Having good access to hyperspace routes was also incredibly important to get anywhere fast though. When traveling along main routes, getting to major destinations could take only a matter of days. When dealing with smaller, shorter jumps along minor routes, or without a clear route at all, that time went up exponentially, particularly when dealing with a sector on the edge of the known galaxy like the model sector, with a plethora of anomalies waiting to end your trip real quick. We already highlighted the importance of clever hyperspace route usage by the New Republic in their early victories against the Warlords in our video on their early campaigns. And when it comes to the logistics of making a massive space station, that all still applies. So the Empire needed a place that was both obscure and easy to access, which is a bit of a contradiction. How did they solve that? The answer was by essentially building a massive hyperspace tunnel and forging their own route. Thus was born the Sanctuary Pipeline, connecting Endor to the planet Sullust, and through that, the Rimma trade route. This was a massive undertaking, arguably on the same order of magnitude as the station itself, or maybe even bigger. By starting with a smaller, pre-existing route going part of the distance, called the Silvestri Trace, they were able to widen and massively extend it, using a technology called S-thread boosters, which could help clear out areas for hyperspace travel in a very expensive way, while they were also sending ships into real space to eliminate any debris which could cause mass shadows along the lane, with the mass shadow basically being the hyperspace projection of an object in real space, which could then pull objects out of hyperspace. By using this method, they could have a major hyperlane directly between industrial centers and the Death Star project at the Forest Moon, capable of supporting the massive amount of hauler traffic necessary for such a massive station. All of this was completed along with the second Death Star itself in the 4 years following the Battle of Yavin. Once the Death Star 2 was ready to face down the Rebel fleet, the location of its construction, as well as the location of the hyperlane itself, was leaked to the Rebels. The Rebels then used the hyperlane constructed by the Empire to jump from Sullust and attack the Death Star 2 at Endor. Following the Death Star's destruction, without the Empire to maintain the route, it fell into disrepair. While typically explorers and galactic governments relied on slowly and methodically mapping and upkeeping other existing space lanes, this technology had been used in other periods for more general use as well. Millennia earlier, the route between Coruscant and Koros Major in the Core and Deep Core, known as the Koros Trunk Line or the Carbonite Run, as it was used to supply Coruscant with carbonite, had been built over a much smaller distance and without any of the same need for secrecy. The Biss Run came later, going from the aforementioned planets to the Deep Core planet of Biss, and it was similarly expanded in this way. It was this route that was used by General Grievous to reach Coruscant in the Clone Wars. Another secret lane was built by the Empire between the core planets of Fondor and Gonjiel. While this was primarily done to connect Fondor to resources coming through the core, it was also done to connect a hidden shipyard at the planet Scarl along the route. This shipyard is where the Executor was initially built, though it was moved to Fondor later on to speed its construction. That's going to do it for our look at these manufactured hyperspace lanes. If you've enjoyed, consider leaving a like or subscribing for more. If there's another topic you'd like to see covered on the channel, please leave that in the comments as well. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you next time.